Good evening, guys. I hope everyone's doing well. Hoda, we've just revised partial derivatives. You've probably learned this recently, maybe in chem, maybe in physics itself. You know, partial derivative is represented by the symbol dou by dou x. And as you all know, what this symbol basically means is it's almost the same as a simple derivative. It's almost the same as finding d by dx. But the main thing to keep in mind is you find this treating every other variable as a constant. All right, so time, y, z, anything, any other variable you see, you will treat that as a constant. All variables except this one will be treated as a constant, right? So सिर्फ constant का derivative you know is 0 and constant into some term का derivative में constant बाहर चला जाता है, it gets multiplied with the derivative of the remaining term. So based on that, let me give you just as a test as to whether we all remember how to find partial derivatives and whether we know our differentiation formulas. Can you try differentiating this function? Okay, you're not going to see functions like this in waves. We just are revising partial derivatives for another reason. We're going to use it in something theoretical, but still maybe we can just try checking if we know how to derive this. So I've given you f. Find dou f by dou x, dou f by dou y, and dou f by dou z. One of you is asking me, sir, how does it look graphically? Okay, that's going to be a little complex to explain, especially when there are so many variables involved. But maybe I can explain when there are, let's say, just two variables involved. Okay, so imagine if there is a function of, you don't need this, by the way. Okay, this is just additional. If there is a function of x and y, sorry, this is x to the power y. Yes. Anything else in the question? If you are not able to understand, you can ask me. That's x to the power y. The third term is x to the power y. And those who are solving that can continue solving. What I'm just mentioning over here is not very relevant, but just to understand what partial derivative means. So maybe we can look at a function in terms of two variables, and we can plot that as our z coordinate. So then z coordinate accordingly depends on x and y. तो इसमें क्या आएगा ना, इसका अगर वैसे इसका ही plot 3 dimensions भर देगा. Alright, so your z coordinate is varying with x as well, it's varying with y as well. उसका plot देखोगे तो it will be like a geographical terrain. कहीं पे है ना mountains रहेगा, कहीं पे valleys रहेगा, अजीब अजीब दिखेगा. Dou f by dou x then means finding how f changes with x. Let's say this is my x-axis. So dou f by dou x means finding how f changes with x, keeping y as a constant. तो मैं y को change नहीं करूंगा, y coordinate fix रखूंगा. So I'll move along this line, and along that line जो f as a function of x का curve है, उसको differentiate करूंगा. Okay, that's what it means. So to just talk about a function of two variables, it becomes you need 3D visualization. And then to talk about function of many variables, it becomes more complex than that to visualize it, not to perform the derivative, but to visualize it. Because then accordingly, it involves higher and higher dimensions. So dou f by dou x means बाकी सारी variables freeze कर लो. y coordinate change मत करो, बस x coordinate change करने के कारण f कितना तेजी से बढ़ता है वो check करो. That is the meaning of dou f by dou x graphically. You don't, of course, need that now. All right, I can see that some of you have answered this question. A lot of people have answered, in fact. So maybe rather than me individually pointing out who's right or wrong, you can all check for yourself if this is what you were getting as the answers. Like for the first one, dou f by dou x. So the derivative of x into y with respect to x. तो इसमें x के अलावा y will be treated as a constant. So y will go out and then x का derivative is going to be 1. So x into y का derivative will be y. जैसे 2x का 2, जैसे yx का y. फिर yz, x के अलावा y and z are going to be treated as constants. So yz का derivative will be 0 because there's no x वाला term. Then this is x to the power y. So this is x raised to constant. This is our power formula, which is going to be n into x to the power n minus 1. N के जगह y है, so this will be y into x to the power y minus 1. And as for the last one, sin z, there's no x wala term, so that's clearly going to be 0. It's obviously going to be 0. Okay. एक second. Now, dou f by dou y, similarly dou f by dou y. ये निकालने के लिए, I hope everyone got the first one. If you have any doubts, let me know. I think most of the answers seem to be like this. Dou f by dou y निकालने के लिए y को constant रखना है. So constant into y is going to be just the constant when you differentiate it. Y का derivative 1, so xy का x हो जाएगा. Similarly zy का z हो जाएगा. यहाँ पे थोड़ा अलग है. This time y is the variable, x is a constant. So this is like a to the power x का derivative या a to the power y का derivative. Constant raised to variable का derivative होता है. This is an exponential function. Constant raised to variable का derivative होता है constant raised to variable ln constant. A raised to x का a raised to x ln a, वैसे ही है. X raised to y का x raised to y ln x. यहाँ पे इस बार ये constant है. पिछली बार ऊपर constant था, इस बार नीचे constant था. तो ये हो जाएगा constant raised to y ln x. And sin z का derivatives will be 0 because there's no y wala term. Okay, I hope you got that as well. Last one is maybe the easiest. xy no z term, derivative 0. yz का derivative y पार गया, z का derivative 1, so it's just y. X raised to y has no z term, derivative 0. Sin z का derivative is positive. Okay, this is just a brief recap. We are not going to perform stuff like this in waves, of course. It's just a brief recap of what partial differentiation means. It simply means just seeing how something varies with respect to one thing, keeping the other constant. Jesse on the next page, we are actually in waves. We're going to analyze how y changes with x, okay, and how y changes with time. Okay, that's what we're going to analyze. How y changes with x, how y changes with time, because y is a function of x and a function of time. All right, so I'm going to, of course, talk about that. But before that, somebody has a couple of doubts. One of you saying, so can I explain the last page once? All right. And uske, I'll explain that. And another saying, sir, I have a doubt in one of the graphs that you gave. Please let me know which graph. Which graph, which page. Maybe. Okay, it's at the end of class level. Okay, fine. अच्छा ये just एक बार just a brief recap. तो actually क्या है इसमें just ये बता रहा हूँ कि if you are given the shape, if you are given the shape of the graph, मतलब if you are given y as a function of x at t equal to t naught, इस instant पे हम एक snapshot लेंगे, है ना, wave का. तो wave तो continuously change होगा, but इस instant पे एक snapshot लेंगे. वो snapshot कैसे तो दिखेगा, वो कोई तो function का graph होगा, है ना. मान लो वो function ये है. Maybe that graph represents this equation. So let's say we are given this at t equal to t naught. पहले क्या था, t equal to 0 पे दिया था, तो I said कि अगर t equal to 0 पे दिया है, तो then you will replace x with x minus vt. to get the wave equation. यहाँ पे बस क्या छोटा सा change करना है, instead of replacing with x minus vt, you replace it with x minus v t minus t naught. Okay, you can remember that and you can understand that as well. Like if you look at my derivation over here, यहाँ पे जब मैं जो दो इंस्टेंट दे रहा था t equal to 0 और टाइम t के वैसे दो इंस्टेंट दिया था, तो we used कि time elapsed between these two instances was t, and therefore distance moved by the graph was vt. Now had the first instant been t naught instead, time elapsed would have been t minus t naught, and accordingly I hope you get कि the distance would have been v into t minus t naught. And because the graph is moving to the right, we were subtracting vt from the function inside the brackets. But instead of subtracting vt, we would have now subtracted v t minus t naught. All right, so that's just t के जगह t minus t naught आ जाएगा if the starting instant was t equal to 0. Because then time elapsed from t equal to t naught would be t minus t naught. And almost एक similar तरीके से जो यहाँ पे हम देखा, we saw in the first case जब you're given the displacement as a function of time, and that time I told you displacement as a function of time for the particle at the origin. If that is given to you as f of t, then we write the wave equation as f of t minus x by v. That's when you're given the displacement as a function of time for the particle at the origin. t के जगह t minus x by v आया था, है ना? We had understood this graph move कर रहा है वगैरह वगैरह. But now अगर मैंने x equal to 0 के जगह x equal to x naught instead of x equal to 0, in fact अब erase the change. x equal to 0 की जगह अगर x equal to x naught पे अगर मैंने दिया f of t, then time taken for it to go from x naught to x, ये जो हमने x by v लिखा था, इस बार time taken will be x minus x naught by v. Distance covered by the pulse would be x naught से x, मतलब x minus x naught. Time would be x minus x naught by v. And accordingly our answer would be f of t minus x by v के जगह t minus x naught by v. Okay, so those will be some changes you will make if you are given the displacement at the at a different coordinate. For instance, x equal to 2 दिया है, x equal to 2 पे तुम्हें y as a function of time दिया है ना? मान लो x equal to 2 पे तुम्हें function दिया है sin t. The motion of the particle is sin t for the particle at x equal to 2. Sin t x equal to 2. Wave equation हो जाएगा sin t के जगह t minus x minus 2 by v. तो t minus x by v के जगह हो जाएगा t minus x naught by v. ठीक है, replace x with x minus x naught. That's what you do when you shift the origin as well, right? You want to make this answer the same as the first answer we saw. So shift the origin to x naught. If you shift the origin to x naught, x coordinates become x minus x naught. T minus x by v wala formula will become t minus x naught by v. You got the idea of this page? You may have understood everything to page 9. Just, this is now the general result. You can see how this is valid from the derivations earlier, and then maybe just remember this result. What to do when ऐसा function दिया है t equal to t naught और ऐसा function दिया है x equal to x. How to get the wave equation from that. I hope everyone's clear with that. Yeah, got it? Whoever asked that, let me know. Okay, so now coming back to our wave equation, like in general, our wave equation is something like this: f of x. हाँ, अभी तक सिर्फ पार्शियल डेरिवेटिव्स बताया और अब उससे आगे बढ़ेंगे, ठीक है? तो वेव इक्वेशन जो अपना था, it's somewhat in this form: f of x minus vt. Remember, f of t minus x by v is almost the same thing. If it's a function of x minus vt, it's also a function of t minus x by v, because you can always take that minus v out and you'll be left with t minus x by v inside. So f of x minus vt can be said to be, another function of the similar function of t minus x by v. Okay, so both are similar forms. It's just एक कांस्टेंट अंदर मल्टीप्लाई हो रहा है, माइनस v मल्टीप्लाई कर लोगे तो t minus x by v x minus vt हो गया. Both in a way represent a similar form. So starting from this equation, y is f of x minus vt, let us try differentiating this with respect to x. Let us try finding dou y by dou x. Let's see what that gives us. Okay, पहले maths करेंगे, then we'll understand these results later. But dou y by dou x, है ना, you know कि you'll have to apply chain rule, because यहाँ पे है ना, this is a complex function, this is a compound function. f खुद एक function है, फिर x minus vt भी एक function of x है. तो chain rule कैसे लगाएंगे? dou x नीचे डालने की जगह dou x minus vt नीचे डालेंगे. Yes, पृथ्वी, yes. नहीं क्या? नहीं, एक मिनट, कोई पूछ रहा है कि dou y by dou x मुझे 0 देगा क्या, है ना? बट यहाँ पे एक्चुअली y is not a variable. You should like y is not an independent variable. Y is actually a function. जैसे यहाँ पे मैंने जब सवाल दिया था, how did I give you the question? Page 11 पे f. So f wasn't an independent variable. It was a variable which depended on all these things. It was the output of all these functions performed on x, y, and z. So f was the output. So when I say dou f by dou x, I will not get 0, because f is not independent of x. f को नहीं constant रखना है. वो बाकी जो variables हैं जो f जिस पे f depend करता है, यानी कि y and z, उनको constant रखना था. Similarly, in this case, what is happening in a wave? We have y coordinate, which एक तो changes with time, and the wave keeps changing. So the y coordinate of each particle changes with time. On top of that, the y coordinate is different for different particles, different for different x coordinates. Some are up, some are down, some are at the mean position. All right. Just एक minute, I'll answer that. So यहाँ पे y is dependent on x and time. So dou y by dou x 0 नहीं है, but rather यहाँ पे dou y by dou x निकालने के लिए मुझे देखना है y कैसा बदल रहा है only when I change x. मतलब मैं टाइम चेंज नहीं कर रहा हूँ. मान लो मैं स्ट्रिंग का स्नैपशॉट ले रहा हूँ, एक फोटो ले रहा हूँ, तो टाइम फिक्स हो गया है ना. उस फोटो में हमने स्ट्रिंग को फ्रीज कर लिया. अब बस देख रहा हूँ हाउ y coordinate is changing with x. Like some places y coordinate is up, some places y coordinate is down, some places it's at the mean position. So we are seeing how y coordinate is now going to change with x. All right, so that is what I'm trying to find. So I'm going to apply chain rule. So when I apply chain rule, I'm going to put x minus vt in the denominator, then again x minus vt in the numerator, and then I'm going to put dou x in the denominator. So I'm going to apply chain rule. When I apply chain rule, because these variables match, यहाँ पे इसका आंसर होगा f का जो भी डेरिवेटिव होता है, that of x minus vt. Like to give you an example, just to give you an example, मान लो ये था sin of x minus vt. ये मुझे डिफरेंशिएट करना है विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू x. तो मैं पहले क्या कर रहा हूं, मैं वो पूरा का पूरा नीचे जो ऊपर जो वेरिएबल है वही नीचे डाल रहा हूं, ठीक है. और फिर मैं वापस यहाँ पे dou x minus vt by dou t डाल रहा हूँ, dou x डाल, ठीक है. तो ये जो पहला जो टर्म है ये तो सादा डेरिवेटिव है ना, बिकॉज यहाँ पे जो भी वेरिएबल है वही ऊपर है. Like you can call this variable z, and that is also z. Is dou sin z upon dou z. Dou sin something upon dou something. क्या होएगा पहला टर्म? Isn't it going to be sine का derivative cos of x minus vt? Right? Isn't the first term going to just simply be sine का derivative cos? And the other one, उसके लिए क्या करोगे? Dou x by dou x is going to be 1 because there is an x term in that, and vt का derivative with respect to x is going to be 0. Okay, so यहाँ पे that's the answer we are actually getting. We are getting f dash x minus vt into 1. What does f dash represent? It represents the derivative of f. So if f is sine, f dash is cos. If f is x square, f dash is 2x. If f is square, x dash is 2 times something. Right? If f is e raised to, then f dash is also e raised to. If f is tan, f dash is x square. So ऐसा. So derivative वाला function of x minus vt into 1. This is what? This is dou y by dou x. इसको एक और बार डिफरेंशिएट करो, सेम प्रोसीजर होगा. इसको अगर एक और बार डिफरेंशिएट करना है, डबल डेरिवेटिव अगर निकालना है, वही सेम चीज होगा. वापस 1 तो फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. वापस क्या आएगा? इसका डेरिवेटिव into x minus vt का डेरिवेटिव which will be 1. So you're going to get the same thing. So जैसे आप इसको वापस डिफरेंशिएट करोगे तो cos का हो जाएगा माइनस साइन x minus vt, और फिर x minus vt का डेरिवेटिव with respect to x 1. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. So dou y by dou x निकाल दिया, dou square y by dou x square निकाल दिया. Okay, now we found that by chain rule. See, just theoretical stuff. इसको actually ज़्यादा कुछ करना नहीं है. Just theoretically, I'm just trying to prove something now. तो ये आ गया dou square y by dou x square. फिर इसके बाद सेम चीज dou y का डेरिवेटिव, मतलब y का डेरिवेटिव लेंगे. सॉरी, how do I erase that? Forward. हाँ, अब y का डेरिवेटिव लेंगे विद रिस्पेक्ट टू टाइम. तो अब विद रिस्पेक्ट टू टाइम करते वक्त फर्स्ट स्टेप चेन रूल, इसके नीचे dou x minus vt दोबारा डाल दो, बट dou x minus vt वापस ऊपर डाल के नीचे इस बार dou t आएगा. तो एक स्मॉल सटल सा चेंज होगा. फर्स्ट टर्म इज गोइंग टू बी द सेम, f dash x minus vt, साइन का cos, tan का sec square, है ना, जैसा तुम्हें फॉर्मूला पता है. सेम वेरिएबल का, क्योंकि वेरिएबल मैच हो रहा है. दिस इज लाइक dou fz by dou z. ओके, सेम वेरिएबल नीचे ऊपर है. देयर इज नो क्वेश्चन ऑफ पार्शियल डेरिवेटिव हो. सेम चीज ऊपर नीचे है. ठीक है, यहाँ पे दो वेरिएबल है, dou x minus vt upon dou t. So when I try to differentiate x, that will be treated as a constant and that will become 0. When I differentiate minus vt, I'm going to get minus v. Velocity is a constant in a wave equation. So minus v. तो यहाँ से dou y by dou t का इक्वेशन ऐसा हो जाएगा. So it's going to be minus v f dash x minus vt. Similar, बस क्या एक माइनस वी टर्म एक्स्ट्रा आ रहा है. dou y by dou t में माइनस वी टर्म एक्स्ट्रा आ रहा है. उसको एक और बार डिफरेंशिएट करोगे तो यू कैन सी द बिगर पिक्चर. व्हेन आई डिफरेंशिएट दिस अगेन, माइनस वी वैसे ही रहेगा. f डैश का डेरिवेटिव लेते वक्त वापस एक और माइनस वी आएगा, क्योंकि f डैश का डेरिवेटिव बाय चेन रूल विल बी f डबल डैश, और फिर उसके अंदर वाले चीज का डेरिवेटिव विल बी माइनस वी. तो एक और माइनस वी आएगा, जिसके कारण ये पूरा चीज हो जाएगा v square f double dash x minus vt. Okay, this is simple, just chain rule now. Acha, with this, what are we trying to get? So finally, if you look at these two equations, double derivative, sure, I'll explain again, but which one do you want? Time ka, x ka, dono? Do you want time wala? Dono, okay. Kushal, this is 1D. I'll come to that. 1D, one dimension, 1 and D. 1 and capital D. अच्छा, यार इसका जो डेरिवेटिव है ना, सॉरी, इसका जो डेरिवेटिव वापस dou square y by dou x square, मतलब इसको एक और बार डिफरेंशिएट करना, तो तुम ही देखो ना कैसा क्या आया, f का f डैश हो गया, f डैश रिप्रेजेंट्स डेरिवेटिव ऑफ f, जैसा f का f डैश हो गया वैसे ही f डैश का f डबल डैश होगा ना, सेम is almost like the same thing. F dash is another function, जैसा f का दो y by दो x आया f का डेरिवेटिव ऑफ x माइनस बी टी, वैसे ही f डैश पे जब दो y by दो x करोगे तो आएगा f डैश का डेरिवेटिव ऑफ x माइनस बी टी. It's almost it's the same proof. You'll again approach it the same way. You'll again apply chain rule. You'll put x minus bt down. You'll put x minus bt up. You'll put dou x down. This will be f dash this time. Answer आएगा dou x minus bt by dou x. Second term one रहेगा. F dash का derivative f double dash होगा. So it's going to be the same proof. So I hope you got how we found dou square y by dou x square. Time का similar है. जैसा dou y by dou t निकाला वैसा ही इसको जब एक और बार डिफरेंशिएट करोगे, the first thing is that constant goes out and then we are left with f dash का derivative. So for this you see how f का derivative became minus v f dash, वैसा ही f dash का derivative will be minus v f double dash. f का derivative was minus v into f dash, f, yeah? And f dash का derivative, f dash x minus bt का derivative will be minus v f double dash. So we're just extending the result we already got before. You can again apply chain rule and get this. It'll look the same. F dash का derivative. Let me know if you got it. Huh? The same thing. F dash with respect to x minus bt, ये हो जाएगा f double dash x minus bt into minus v. समझा क्या? तो माइनस वी इंटू माइनस वी, ये बी स्क्वायर हो जाएगा. बेसिकली क्या है, एक्चुअली सिंपल सी बात है. वैसे तो इसको डिफरेंशिएट करोगे, व्हेन यू डिफरेंशिएट विद रिस्पेक्ट टू एक्स, तो चेन रूल में ज्यादा फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा क्योंकि एक्स का कोएफिशिएंट 1 है. तो you'll just simply get differentiated every time 1 will come out because you're differentiating with respect to x. When you differentiate with respect to time, you will keep taking the derivative. You'll get f dash, you get f double dash. But on top of that, because you're differentiating with respect to time and because time का quotient is minus v, chain rule से हर बार derivative लेते वक्त minus v बार आएगा. पहले बार minus v आएगा, दूसरी बार एक और minus v आएगा, making it minus v into minus v, v square times f double dash x minus bt. Okay, this comes from simple chain rule. Now finally our conclusion in this is, look at what f double dash x minus bt is actually dou square y by dou x square. So we now have an equation between dou square y by dou t square and dou square y by dou x square. Dou square y by dou t square is v square dou square y by dou x square. ये एक differential equation आ गया. This is what we call as the linear wave equation. Okay, so this is scientifically what they say. This is the traveling wave equation. This equation is going to be satisfied by any one-dimensional. That's actually my one. So any 1D, one-dimensional traveling wave. Yeah, so basically, wave on a string will satisfy this equation. One-dimensional क्यों है ना? For instance, ripple होता है two-dimensional. When I drop a stone, when I drop a stone onto a water body, it creates those circular ripples which spread outward, right? So there the wave front is a circle. The wave ka shape is a circle. But यहाँ पे wave ka shape, that will be two-dimensional. It's moving along x and y. But we are not going to study that. That's not there in our syllabus. We're not going to study that. We're going to study one-dimensional waves. So this is a classic one-dimensional wave equation. This is how any equation which is going to be a 1D traveling wave should satisfy this differential equation. And that's just the complicated way of saying That's just a complicated way of saying any function of this type satisfies a traveling wave. Because ये वहीं से आया. This is this and this is this. F of x minus vt is the solution to this differential equation. Right? So any wave which satisfies this Gandasa differential equation is basically of this type, and that will be a traveling wave. Okay? तो ये बस एक theoretical point है, इसका ज़्यादा use नहीं है beyond the theoretical point. ज़्यादा इसका practical use नहीं है, but this is you should know this as a theoretical point. This is how this is your linear wave equation. इस फॉर्म में लिखता है. Dou square y by dou t square is v square dou square y by dou x square. Yes, you're right. And that we're going to see next. Yes, Shivang, yes. So I'm not going to get into more detail of two-dimensional waves, but for two-dimensional waves, technically, then this equation will become, in addition to dou square y by dou x square, same चीज तुम लिखो dou square y by dou z square. Sorry, yeah, so if it's moving along x and z axis, two-dimensional wave के लिए, it's moving along the x axis and the z axis, like for example, a ripple moving along x and z. Okay, you can then replace dou square y by dou x square with dou square y by dou x square plus dou square y by dou z square. वैसा हो जाएगा. Not that you need it, I'm just giving you that information. Okay. But I hope you understood where this came from. ये उतना मतलब इसका और कुछ practical use नहीं है. This is just technically called your linear wave equation. Linear means one dimensional, but अब single derivatives के बीच में जो रिश्ता है वो थोड़ा useful है. That gives us some important formula which can be used in numericals as well. Single derivatives के बीच में रिश्ता देख लो. Dou y by dou x is f dash x minus vt. Dou y by dou t is also f dash x minus vt. It's close, but then there's one extra term. It's minus v times f dash x minus vt. मतलब ऊपर से f dash x minus vt को substitute कर लो as dou y by dou x. So you get dou y by dou t is minus v dou y by dou x. Dou y by dou t is minus v dou y by dou x. All right, I hope you all saw where that came from. This is quite important. Okay, this is not your, wave equation, though normally that other one is referred to as a wave equation. This also can be considered because this is again satisfied by f of x minus vt. But iska kya practical use hai is all three of these terms have some meaning. V to of course is our wave velocity, no doubt over that. Dou y by dou t has some meaning. So dou y by dou t, think about this, dou y by dou t. So somebody asked, how do you visualize partial derivatives? So in general, though, it's a little, बस pure mathematically सोचोगे तो then you'll have to think in higher dimensions. But ये वाला हम थोड़ा सोच सकते हैं. Dou y by dou t. Remember I said spring, ये जो string का जो motion है, which is characterized by the y coordinate of each particle, that keeps changing for as you change the x coordinate. मतलब as you change the particle, x मतलब particle, ऐसा सोचो. हर particle अलग x coordinate पे बैठा है. So displacement in the y direction changes as you change the particle. It changes as you change the x coordinate. It also changes with time. And a wave is not static, it keeps moving. So it also changes with time. When I talk about dou y by dou t, I am seeing how y changes with time. But what am I keeping constant over here? Prithvi, that's not true. Equal. Before, let me just address that. One of you said displacement of any two particles in the y direction is the same. Why is it the same? This particle is at the mean position. This particle is at the top. This particle is at the negative extreme. How can you say displacement of any two particles is the same? It's not the same. Clearly है ना, अलग है. Different particles are at different displacements. Y coordinates अलग है. सब सेम होगा तो ऐसे स्ट्रेट लाइन दिखेगा ना. सभी एक ही वाइट कोऑर्डिनेट पे तो स्ट्रेट लाइन दिखेगा. You won't see any hills and valleys, up and down नहीं दिखेगा. But Prithvi, they were at different. We saying we took two particles and derived the first equation, but that was they were at different instances of time. You're talking about the original derivation. Be clear, that was two different instances. There was particle at x equal to 0 at a different time, and particle at x at a different time. वो तो होगा ही ना. This pulse is going to somewhere else at some other time be somewhere else. So एक particle का displacement at some time is going to be the same as some other particle का displacement at some other time. वो तो होना ही है, मतलब wave आगे बढ़ रहा है. हाँ. But at the same time ऐसा नहीं है कि सभी का same है. वो तो multiple का same है. ये भी नहीं मैं deny कर रहा हूँ कि किसी का भी same नहीं है. Multiple का होगा same. Where was the page? है ना सारे. Is this the page? Okay. हाँ ये पेज है. मल्टीपल का सेम होगा. ऑल द टॉप्स मे बी एट द सेम y कोऑर्डिनेट, बट सबका सेम बोलना गलत है. y is changing with x at a given amount of, and it's changing with time. Therefore, it's a function of x and time. What does this term mean? I want to see how y changes with time without changing x. दो by दो t मतलब x को constant रखना. x is fixed. Very nice. So if x is fixed, मतलब I'm choosing one particle. एक particle choose करके उस particle के लिए देखना है dou y by dou t क्या है. अब dou y, remember y is displacement. So what is the derivative of displacement with respect to time? Derivative of displacement with respect to time means velocity. Dou y by dou t, keeping x fixed, fixing a particle, dy by dt now. A particle fixed here, so now let's talk about dy by dt. So dy by dt represents rate of change of that particle's y coordinate, यानी कि that particle's displacement. वो particle बस ऊपर, कोई भी particle बस ऊपर नीचे करने वाला है. Think of how dancers create a wave. है ना? They're not moving their hand from the right shoulder to. They're actually just moving the hands up and down. Shoulders are going up and down. Each particle is going up and down. It's going up and down at different points of time, which is creating the illusion of a wave moving from left to right or right to left. है ना? तो वो हो रहा है यहाँ पे. Each particle is going up and down. Their displacement is the y coordinate. They're not changing x. X fixed है, बस y coordinate change हो रहा है. dy by dt, rate of change of the displacement, is going to give you that particle's velocity. So dou y by dou t is the velocity of an individual particle. Don't confuse this with the wave velocity. There are significant differences between the two. Wave velocity is constant. It's the property of the entire wave. Okay, you don't need to zoom in on a particle. It's the speed with which the wave moves ahead. It's going to be a constant. Dou y by dou t is going to be defended on the particle, and it's going to vary with time, because the particle is going to sometimes go up, it's going to sometimes go down, it's going to sometimes stop, it's going to sometimes go fast. So dou y by dou t it varies as the particle goes up and down. It varies, but the wave velocity is constant. Wave velocity is for the entire wave. Dou y by dou t एक particle का velocity है. Okay, so that's what this term is. This is your wave velocity. What about that second term, dou y by dou x? To understand this, think what is kept constant. What is the other variable? Time. इसमें time constant रखना है. तो time constant कैसे रखते हैं? You take a snapshot, take a particular instant, take a photograph of the wave, take one snapshot. ठीक है? So that's stopping the wave at a particular instant of time. At a particular instant of time, the wave will look like this. Static है, हिल नहीं रहा है. So at this instant, you see a shape in front of you. You see a curve. Naturally, now keeping time fixed, dou y by dou x या dy by dx, keeping time fixed, represents what? It's a simple calculus. Represents the slope of the graph. It represents the slope of the graph, okay, which of course varies for different particles, but it represents the slope of the graph. So d dou y by dou x means the slope of the graph at that instant, at the particular instant. Dou y by dou t means the velocity of the particle at that particular instant. Okay, so what we are getting over here is velocity of a particle is minus wave velocity into slope. Okay, velocity of a particle is minus v into slope. Okay, तो इसको यूज एक्चुअली कैसे करना है, इसका मतलब क्या है? At any instant we are going to take one particular particle, so we're going to freeze time and we are going to lock in on one particle जो अप डाउन मोशन कर रहा है, टाइम भी रोक दिया और एक पार्टिकल को भी फिक्स कर लिया, और हम बोलेंगे कि उस पार्टिकल का वेलोसिटी हो जाएगा माइनस वेव वेलोसिटी इनटू उस इंस्टेंट पे जैसा शेप दिखता है. रिमेंबर दिस इज वी आर गोना आंसर पार्टिकल वेलोसिटी एट एन इंस्टेंट, राइट? नोबडी इज गोना से फाइंड पार्टिकल वेलोसिटी जस्ट लाइक दैट and expect an answer 2 3 4. They'll say find particle velocity at an instant and then we can expect an answer 2 3 4. All right, so at an instant जब particle velocity पूछेंगे, you need to multiply the wave velocity with the slope of the graph at that instant. You need to multiply wave velocity with the slope of the graph at that instant. Okay, so and vice versa, slope चाहिए तो you can use the particle velocity for that. So Vp is minus V into slope. Yes, I'll give you a question, you can try that out, but this is the use of this equation. Any doubts on this? Okay, sorry. No doubts, fine. All right, so try one question out. Let's see who's gonna answer this. Yeah. Question is this. All right. Okay. Sir, wait. I'll go back. Let me know when you're done. I'll tell you. Let me go back to the page. Whoever brought me here, let me know when you're done. Okay. One minute up. हो गया क्या? Done. All right. So this is the question. यहाँ पे ठीक है, there's a wave in front of you, simple सा है. I am telling you the wave is going towards the right, as you can see by the yellow arrow. You can see this blue dot over here. All right, so the question is that blue dot, that particle, what is going to be the direct, so is that blue particle going to go up or down? Is the blue particle going to go up or down? Okay. So I've got 6 answers so far. 7. So it's interesting. When I asked this in another batch, 100% of the answers. Wow. When I asked this in another batch, 100% of the answer was down. 100% of all the answers that were given was down. And in this batch, 100% seems to be up. 11 answers, 11 is up. That's quite good. So this is, I think, what you guys are doing. Okay, one guy said down. No worries. As I said, in the other batch, almost everyone said down. And just so I think, I don't know what they were thinking when they said down. So normally when people said down, they were trying to imagine something like this. Instead of imagining the wave move forward, maybe they were imagining the particle move forward, as if this is some kind of roller coaster. And ये particle अब आगे जाएगा तो particle नीचे जाएगा, है ना? वो मतलब ये गलत imagination था. But the fact that 100% said कि it's going to go down probably shows the danger of imagination. Okay, that's the point I want to try to bring out. Congratulations, almost the entire batch got this right, all those who answered. But the danger of imagination, 100% of the other batch said down, they got it wrong, and they didn't realize while imagining that they were doing something that was wrong. They were doing something actually a little ridiculous, है ना? कि ये roller coaster नहीं है, particle आगे नहीं जा रहा है. ये बस उन्हें देखा कि next आगे अब नीचे है graph, तो ये particle नीचे जाएगा. That was the impulse with which they said no, they said down. So that's the danger of imagination. Don't leave things to your imagination. All those who answered correctly, some of you were trying to give the reasoning as well. You all tried to use the formula I just taught, and that's a good approach. Always trying to use a little bit of maths, a little bit of equations to answer. Don't rely only on imagination. You can cross check with the right imagination once you get the answer, but don't rely only on imagination, because while imagining, you probably may not consider everything or the real picture, and you won't even know that you're imagining wrong. Right? In our dreams, so we imagine a lot of things which are not even practically possible. So similarly, in even if you remember the river boat, I mean the boat questions we used to do. So I think this fluid mechanics, when you throw the stone out, pani upar jayega, niche jayega. Normally in that, the first impulse answer that everyone had was wrong. We think it goes up, but it goes down. The water level goes down. So the first impulse wala answer was wrong. Don't rely only on imagination. Here you guys all got this spot on. Good. You all use this formula and you said correctly. Correctly, up the formula say, let me explain to the others as well why we are saying it goes up. If I use the formula, Vp is minus P into slope. Okay. And I said of course, I defined the axis and all properly while using this formula. So first of all, like minus sign here. फिर v मतलब wave velocity, पार्टिकल का नहीं, पार्टिकल के लिए मैं एक्स्ट्रा p डाल रहा हूँ टू डिफरेंशिएट देम। ठीक है, तो वेव वेलोसिटी पॉजिटिव है क्योंकि वो पॉजिटिव x की तरफ जा रहा है, और उस पॉइंट पे स्लोप एट दिस इंस्टेंट नेगेटिव है क्योंकि द ग्राफ इज गोइंग डाउनवर्ड्स, I've taken upward bias positive, so slope वहां पे नेगेटिव, so minus into minus obviously is going to be plus, there are two minus signs, is going to be plus, मतलब पार्टिकल वेलोसिटी पॉजिटिव आ रहा है, पार्टिकल का वेलोसिटी पॉजिटिव y के अलोंग है, यानी कि ऊपर है। ठीक है, तो हाउ दिस हाउ मैथ्स गिव्स अस द करेक्ट आंसर ऑलवेज। अब ऊपर है, now you can actually visualize as well, so the correct way to visualize this is, it's not the particle moving along the wave like a roller coaster, it's the wave which is actually moving in space. All right, the wave is moving in space, so as the wave moves forward, if you drag this shape forward, it's going to look like this. We have drawn that down, this yellow one, you drag it forward, it's going to look like this. When it looks like this, what's going to happen is, subsequently जो वेव, जो डिस्प्लेसमेंट पीछे वाले पार्टिकल के पास था, वो अब वेव आगे आके वो डिस्प्लेसमेंट इस पार्टिकल के पास है। So as time progresses, as the wave goes ahead, the displacement which these पीछे वाले particles had, that's now going to come to this guy. Okay, the wave is shifting forward. The displacements which the particles at a smaller x coordinate had, now will come to the particles at a bigger x coordinate. पीछे वाले particle का displacement इसके पास आएगा. Yeah, you can just draw on, you can just draw the shape of the shifted wave and you can visualize कैसे इसको आगे shift करेंगे तो पीला shape दिखेगा और दिखेगा कि particle reality में ऊपर गया है, reality में particle ऊपर गया. That's how you would correctly visualize this. I would always, unless you're very confident of your visualization, yeah, this is how you would do it. You can use that formula. Okay, so you can use this formula for a numerical question as well. ये तो just whether it's going up or down वो बताने के लिए use किया, but you can also use this in a numerical question. So I'll give you one question on that, and maybe maybe I want to move on from here, so maybe I'll give you that question to try at home. Same formula है. I'll wait. Let me know when you're done writing. So let me know when you're done writing. किसी को कुछ डाउट पूछना है तब तक पूछ सकते हो. Yeah, show page 13. Let people just say they're done with this page, then I'll show 13 as well. Whoever said wait for this page, let me know when you're done. Okay. 13 देख लो. Okay. So you can try question on page 15 at home. It's on the same formula. Just to save a little time, maybe you can try this one at home. I'll just read out the question. So it's basically I'm telling you that at a particular instant of time, your wave looks like this. Is going to be a cos function. Y is cos 3x at this instant. At this instant, it's moving towards the right with a velocity of 5. Find the transverse velocity. Transverse actually means perpendicular. मतलब wave तो ऐसा जा रहा है, transverse फिर उस direction का velocity हो गया. और transverse नहीं भी बोला तो भी फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, because particle का velocity है ही transverse direction में. It is along the y direction. So find the velocity of at this instant for a particular particle. Okay, find the velocity at this instant for a particular particle. So that particle is particle P, and that's going to be at an x coordinate 25 pi by 12. So find the velocity of the particle at x equal to 25 pi by 12 given this. Okay, that shouldn't be too difficult. Okay, so try this at home with the formula we just saw. This is the answers that you can refer to. Try this today. I know we are meeting tomorrow. Just ज़्यादा time नहीं लगेगा. You can try this before tomorrow's class and we'll discuss this. There's no t term. So this is not, so that's what, this is not the wave equation. There's no time term in this. It's not the wave equation. This is just a snapshot. This is the shape of the wave at a given instant of time. So it's the equation at that particular instant of time. Yes. इस instant में ऐसा equation दिख रहा है. इतना information काफी है for you to answer what the velocity of the particle is going to be at what the velocity of this particle is going to be. इतना information से तुम answer कर सकते हो. Velocity ऊपर wave का velocity 5 दिया है, particle velocity निकालना है of this particle. ठीक है? Not difficult. You have to just use that formula. Okay. So that's question 15. I've uploaded that on the drive. You can attempt that and we'll discuss that tomorrow. So with this, now let's get into understanding in more detail a one-dimensional wave. And in general, the kind of wave we are going to talk about, the kind of wave we're going to study is going to be like a perfect sine wave. In most cases, you'll have a perfect sine wave is produced. So we're going to talk about a perfect sine wave, a sinusoidal wave. Sinusoidal मतलब sine हो सकता है, cos हो सकता है. Sine wave में actually जो तुम्हारा source जो भी होगा ना, whoever is producing the SHM, somebody is holding the string at the left end and then he's oscillating the string. Let's say that source is going to perform an SHM. When the source performs an SHM, you get a nice sinusoidal wave. All right, so the displacement of the left end of the source, let's say we're taking that as A sine omega t plus delta. Okay, so the source is performing an SHM. Now, based on this, let this be y as a function of time thereof. Let this be for the particle at x equal to 0. Okay, let it be for the particle at x equal to 0. So accordingly, wave equation आ जाएगा. क्या करना है? You know how to work with that. T को t minus x by v से replace करना है. Yes. I mean, this is okay. One of you saying this is just like people in the gym who exercise with ropes. Yes, they hold the rope and they oscillate it up and down. वैसे, so that's what produces. Towards the end of class, I'll show you what the answer is. It's one of those two. Okay? So like people in the gym, they hold a rope and they oscillate it up and down and they produce a wave. वैसे, except let that oscillation be a perfect SHM. So if that oscillation is a perfect SHM, the kind of wave that's going to be produced and the kind of wave equation that you're going to see is going to be very similar. Only change is t के जगह t minus x by v. तो ये एक्चुअली ये देखिए थोड़ा कॉन्फिडेंस आना चाहिए. ये एसएचएम की इक्वेशन की तरह ही है. बेसिक एसएचएम का इक्वेशन की तरह ही है, सिर्फ t के जगह t minus x by v है. फिर इसमें हम क्या करेंगे? हम इसको ये जो ब्रैकेट, ये जो t minus x by v टर्म है, we'll expand that. So we'll open the bracket up. So we'll get one term omega into t. We'll get another term which is omega into x by v. But notice that what I've done is, because the minus sign is there, what I've actually done is I'm going to replace omega upon v with another constant k. All right. So right now, just imagine k to be omega upon v, and very soon I'll define what k means. But just imagine k to be omega by v. All right. So your wave equation in general is going to look somewhat like this. This is how your wave equation is going to look. A sine some constant into t minus some constant into x plus some other constant. Okay, phase, that's your phase constant. So plus delta. So this is how your wave equation will look like in general. Now, what are these terms that we are seeing over here? So the first thing is, let's try to understand omega. Let's see where that came from. Okay, that came from this. So that's the omega you see in the wave equation is actually the omega you see in the source का equation. तो source तो एक SHM कर रहा था, है ना? Leftmost end एक SHM कर रहा था, यानी कि हर particle भी SHM करेगा, हर particle SHM करेगा. You take a snapshot, put a particular value of time. Sorry, नहीं, हर particle का motion देखने के लिए substitute a particular value of x. Substitute a particular value of x. तो यहां से दिखेगा कि इसमें हर पार्टिकल एक SHM कर रहा है. x का कोई भी एक फिक्स्ड वैल्यू डाल दो, मान लो 2 डाल दो, 3 डाल दो, जो पार्टिकल के लिए देखना है क्या हो रहा है डाल दो, तो फिर ये पूरा का पूरा टर्म एक कांस्टेंट हो जाएगा. And the equation will be a sin omega t plus some constant, proving कि all particles are performing an SHM. Just like the source was doing an SHM, all particles are going to do an SHM. Sirf maybe, it's they'll be at a different stage of the SHM. They'll be at different phases in the SHM. कोई mean position पे, कोई extreme position पे, कोई negative extreme पे, है ना? But they are all going to ultimately perform an SHM. You can put a constant value of x to see what each x coordinate is doing. Okay. Now, let's understand omega. So omega is the angular frequency of the wave. Omega is going to be defined that way, angular frequency of the wave. And it's going to be the same as the angular frequency of the source. Source एक SHM कर रहा है, जो source का angular frequency होगा वही wave का angular frequency होगा. Angular frequency का मतलब क्या होता है? It's the rate of change of phase. It's how quickly phase changes. ज्यादा angular frequency मतलब it goes through the stages of the SHM quickly. Phase याद है 0, 90, 180, 270 and so on, right? So if phase changes quickly means oscillations are completed quickly. ज्यादा ओमेगा मतलब जल्दी जल्दी phase change होता है, जल्दी जल्दी oscillate करता है. More repetitions, more frequency, hence the name frequency. कम ओमेगा मतलब the oscillations are slower, धीरे धीरे phase change हो रहा है. It's going through the stages of the SHM slowly, fewer oscillations. Okay. All right. So you same idea as what you've seen in an SHM. So that's omega. Then we also have frequency. Frequency is the number of oscillations per second for any particle. So the frequency of the wave is defined like this: number of oscillations per second for any particle. हर particle करके आ रहा है SHM. With what omega? That you see, the coefficient of time, जो भी t के सामने जो दिख रहा है, उस angular velocity के साथ हर particle SHM कर रहा है. तो frequency ओमेगा से मिल सकता है और time period भी ओमेगा से मिल सकता है. Time is the time for, okay, that's one. If you're not getting that, that's one oscillation. The time is time for one oscillation of any particle. Time period is the time taken for one particle to complete an oscillation. All particles complete an oscillation in the same amount of time because all particles have the same angular frequency. Substitute any particle's x coordinate. Say to x equal to 2 देख लो, same angular frequency. X equal to 3, same angular frequency. So all particles perform an SHM and complete one oscillation in a fixed amount of time. That is your time period. Okay, so some more equations are going to be on the next page. Displacement of the particles is very small with respect to the length of the string. That's true. Normally we'll keep the displacement small. We're not going to keep the displacement very large. But why? Otherwise it will become like a pendulum SFQ. I don't know why the saying should become like a pendulum then. वो नहीं समझा. One oscillation as in one oscillation as in 2 pi radians. Yes, a change in phase of 2 pi radians. SHM की तरह. So the shape, if you like freeze time at a particular instant, okay, if you freeze time at a particular instant, let's say you put in a particular value of time, then the equation looks like a sine wave, all right? So it looks like a sinusoidal function of x, some constant into sine, some constant of x plus a bunch of other constants. कैसे तो भी करो, उसका ग्राफ ऐसा होगा, शेप ऐसा होगा. ओरिजिन पता नहीं किधर होगा, बट शेप तो ऐसा ही होगा. It could be a cos function, it could be a minus sine x function. All right, it's basically a shifted sine function. So because it looks like a shifted sine function, in fact the entire wave looks like a sine function ka graph continuously shifting. Perfect sine function का ग्राफ continuously shifting, वैसा वेव दिखेगा तुम्हें, ठीक है? And yes, this is only for a traveling sine wave, and you only have a sine wave in your syllabus. Okay, we are going to study only these kind of waves. Okay. Cool. Done with this page. We'll see some relations between these terms: frequency, time, omega, k. We'll define some of these terms on the next page. Okay, so omega, all right, just a brief recap. Omega is rate of change of phase. Yeah, omega is change in phase by change in time, making omega 2 pi by time period. Okay, because in one time period कोई भी particle का phase 2 pi radian से change होता है. तो ये एक important relation है. Omega is 2 pi by time period, as you already know from what we have done in SHM. Frequency is 1 by time period. तो frequency होता है time period का reciprocal. Time is 2 pi by omega, तो frequency होगा omega by 2 pi. उसी इक्वेशन को अगर तुम 2 pi को लेफ्ट हैंड साइड पे लोगे तो you get, I mean, same idea. You get omega as 2 pi into f. So that's how omega relates with f. Again, all of these are the same for the chapter SHM as well. This is how you relate omega, frequency, and time period. Now, a quantity which is of some importance in waves is this quantity called as wavelength. So I'm going to use the symbol lambda for wavelength. You probably have experienced using lambda for wavelength in maybe atomic structure. I think you've seen, I think B. Broglie's wavelength. So let's use the symbol lambda for wavelength. And what is wavelength defined as? So in simple words, is defined as the shortest distance along the string between two particles having the same phase. Shortest distance along the string between two particles having the same phase. So when you draw out a wave, you know, there are some ups and downs. Technically, the up is called as a crest, the down is called as a trough. All right, so there are these ups and downs. So between two particles having the same phase, maybe I'll just zoom in for this. Like between the two maximas, right? Both maximas per phase is more or less the same. It's like 90 degrees. So between the two maximas, between the two particles having the same phase, that distance is called lambda. Okay, yeah, the between these two portions, that distance is called lambda. All right, so in fact this is like what you will call as functions में the period of a function, the portion for which जिसके आगे it's just the graph repeats. वैसे ही, that's what wavelength. If you take a snapshot and then you find the period of whatever graph you see, that is actually one wavelength. So this length is a repetitive portion of the graph. You can copy paste it and create the rest of the wave. So that length from one particle of the same phase to another particle, then immediate next particle of the same phase, that is called wavelength. Okay, that is called as wavelength. I hope you understood what on wavelength is. Let me just check this out. I have actually not used lambda yet, so I don't know what derivation you're referring to. I have not used lambda. Lambda is how the wave is spread out in terms of x. Wave equation के भी derivation में I don't think मैंने अब तक lambda use किया. I have not yet used lambda. Wave equation in general I derive for any kind of function. It need not even have had a wavelength. Like मेरा जो wave equation था ना, f of t minus x by v. If you remember one of the example we did where the pulse reached till 2 and then it fell. And we were describing how that pulse was shifting with time. तो उसमें actually wavelength define ही नहीं करेंगे because that graph was not a repetitive graph. That was not a periodic graph. So there was no wavelength there. You can only talk about wavelength in a graph which is periodic. So in a sine graph, of course, it's going to be periodic. तो जैसा तुम फंक्शन में साइन ग्राफ का पीरियड निकालते हो वैसे ही यहाँ पे what this wavelength is basically the period of that graph you see at any instant. वो जो साइन ग्राफ ही दिखेगा, शिफ्टेड साइन ग्राफ दिखेगा, थोड़ा आगे पीछे रहेगा, उसका period will be the wavelength. Functions वाला period will be the wavelength. Now तो wavelength वो चीज है, बहुत सिंपल है. Wave number देखो क्या है. Let's see how wave number is defined. The wave number is what we're going to represent by the symbol k. Wave number is going to be defined as phase change per unit length. Wave number is going to be defined as phase change per unit length. Okay. So wave number is going to be defined as delta phi by delta x. Delta phi by delta x. Phase change per unit length tells you how quickly phase changes as you move along the string. Change in phase upon change in x. More importantly, we know that when I move lambda distance, my phase changes by 2 pi and I'm back in the beginning. So when I move lambda distance, my phase is changed by 2 pi. So k is technically 2 pi upon lambda. K is defined as 2 pi by lambda. And k is the same thing which we saw earlier. K is omega upon v. Okay, k is omega upon v. So it's 2 pi by lambda and it's omega upon v. All right, we'll also relate. I mean, ये तो हमने पहले ही define किया था. यहाँ से यहाँ कैसे जाना है वो भी maybe I think I showed on the next page. But these are all the relevant formulas for your wave number. एक heads up दे देता हूँ. For these next 2 years, this is going to be the formula. This is going to be the term referred to when we define wave number. You may see in certain other books, and you may see once you go to your engineering college, that wave number sometimes is also defined as 1 upon lambda. Yes, some people call wave number 1 upon lambda. Some people call wave number 2 pi upon lambda. Actually, the name doesn't make a very big difference. It's just the idea that it carries, which is more important. But for the timing for these 2 years, your textbooks are going to define your wave number as 2 pi by lambda. So just don't be surprised later on when you go to college and you see some people call 1 upon lambda as the wave number. Okay? Some people call 1 upon lambda as a wave number also. But फिलहाल physics में अभी JEE के लिए 2 pi by lambda is your wave number. है मतलब ऐसा नाम दिया, अभी नाम कोई भी कुछ different people call different things with the same name. can't dig more into that. Huh? Anyways, um, हाँ दीपक इसके बाद दिखाता हूँ. Let me finish this page, then I'll show the other page. Just let me finish what else is there in this. Okay, so then there's that other popular relation that you know, V is F into lambda. You might have seen in your school days as well. ये आता कहाँ से है? So like in 1 second, just to give you the idea behind that, 1 second में we know कि F oscillations are created. That's the definition of frequency. Frequency 5 है तो 1 सेकंड में 5 oscillation होगा. Frequency F है तो 1 सेकंड में F oscillations होगा. F oscillations होगा ना तो F wavelengths produce होना चाहिए. Think about that guy at the gym who's oscillating this rope. अगर वो रस्सी को ऊपर नीचे एक बार ऐसा oscillate करेगा, he produces a jerk like this, ऊपर नीचे oscillate करेगा ना, you should see this pattern get created. Sorry, एक oscillation में ऐसा एक wavelength create हो जाएगा which is going to move along the string. एक और बार ऐसा oscillate किया तो एक और wavelength, दो wavelength create हो जाएगा which will move along the string. So if you perform F oscillations in 1 second, you will create F wavelengths which are going to move along the string. है ना, एक oscillation में ऐसा एक wave आगे चला जाएगा, दो oscillation में ऐसे दो wavelengths आगे चला जाएगा. तो F oscillation में F wavelengths have already moved along the string since you started moving your hand. So in 1 second, F oscillations are produced, मतलब F created, मतलब F oscillations are performed. So F wavelengths are produced. F wavelengths आगे बढ़ गया from the source. So therefore, your wave has actually traveled what distance? Your wave would end up traveling a distance of F lambda meters. You performed F oscillations, the wave has gone ahead. F wavelengths. Each wavelength is lambda meters long. So the wave has gone ahead F lambda meters. That is the distance traveled by your wave. Distance traveled upon time taken, this is all for 1 second, gives you the velocity of the wave. Distance traveled upon time taken gives you the velocity of the wave. So the wave velocity becomes F times lambda. Wave velocity becomes F times lambda. So V is F lambda. V is F lambda. यहाँ से, इनफैक्ट यहाँ से as I said ना, यहाँ से ये कैसे प्रूव करना है वो इधर नीचे बताया. तो हमने पिछले पेज पे ऐसे ही मैंने एक नया सिंबल इंट्रोड्यूस किया था. I had said omega is V into K. Now you have all seen the derivation for this. उसी derivation में knowing कि omega is defined, K is defined as omega by V, तुम V को substitute कर लो as omega upon K. Okay, so far this has been derived. Omega by K is F into lambda. फिर उसके आगे ओमेगा is 2 pi f, वो भी derived है, वो भी पता है. ओके, सो ओमेगा is 2 pi f अगर तुम सब्स्टिट्यूट करोगे तो यहाँ से 2 pi, सॉरी यहाँ दोनों साइड से f f कटेगा and you will be left with 2 pi upon k is lambda. So from there we get the proof कि k is 2 pi upon lambda. So when you take omega as vk, with this equation and with this equation, we end up proving कि k is 2 pi by lambda. And with k is 2 pi by lambda, we then say कि k is actually change in phase upon change in x. And that's where this definition comes from. Okay, so if you're wondering, ये कैसे randomly introduce हो गया? Is this k the same k I mentioned on the previous page? Yes, it's the same k I mentioned on the previous page. You can see the working from here. ये मैंने डिफाइन किया था, k को ऐसा डिफाइन किया था, k को ओमेगा बाय v से सब्स्टिट्यूट किया. That when substituted in v equal to f lambda along with this equation ultimately gave us this. So that proved कि k was 2 pi by lambda. In other words, k was change in phase as you move lambda distance along the x-axis. तो वहां से ये definition आ गया. Okay. And What's lam? Yeah. So guys, you can copy this. What's lambda m? If I say, after this, I have just maybe one question which we can try, and then I have some homework to give you. Okay. लास्ट ब्रैकेट वापस समझाया तो लैम्डा एम भी एम इज मीटर्स. एम इज मीटर्स. तो मैंने बस बोला कि तुमने एक ऑसिलेशन एक सेकंड में एफ ऑसिलेशन किया है ना. एफ टाइम्स यू शुक द रोप. एफ टाइम्स व्हेन यू शेक द रोप यू आर गोइंग टू प्रोड्यूस एफ वेवलेंथ्स. मतलब तुम यहां से शेक कर रहे थे और यहां से डिस्टर्बेंस इधर पहुंच गया. किधर पहुंच गया? ईच वेवलेंथ इज लैम्डा मीटर्स. तो यहां से शेक करते करते डिस्टर्बेंस एफ लैम्डा, number of oscillations into lambda itna meters aage gaya. So that is actually our distance covered, and distance by time, all this took place in 1 second. Distance by time is velocity. So that proves ki wave velocity is f into lambda. Did you get it? Uska rationale samjha raha tha. V is f lambda. Okay. And just to explain this bracket one last time, this was defined on the previous page. This has just been proved. So with this v को मैं ओमेगा अपॉन k से रिप्लेस कर रहा हूं. फिर मे बी एक और एडिशनल स्टेप है. ओमेगा को मैं 2 पाई इंटू फ्रीक्वेंसी से रिप्लेस कर रहा हूं. SHM से आता है वो. ठीक है. तो ओमेगा को 2 पाई अपॉन फ्रीक्वेंसी से जब रिप्लेस करोगे तो एफ एफ कटेगा. एफ एफ कट के यहां से आता है k is 2 पाई बाय लैम्डा. रीअरेंज k and lambda. यहां से आता है k is 2 पाई बाय लैम्डा. ओके. So maybe there's that intermediate step. Yahan se you prove k is 2 pi by lambda. So that's how we went from this to this. Then we can observe that 2 pi by lambda is actually change in phase upon distance moved. From there we get this definition. Anyone wants me to wait here? Okay. So to sum it up, your wave equation looks like this. This is borrowing a few minutes of your time. So the wave equation in general is a sine. जैसे याद करो SHM स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट क्या था? a sin ओमेगा t. t के जगह सॉरी a sin ओमेगा t प्लस डेल्टा है ना. तो तुम t के जगह t minus x by v डाल दो. Either way your omega can be written in several forms. So one form is when your wave equation can be written in several forms. One form is जब ओमेगा बार लिखा और फिर ब्रैकेट के अंदर वो लिखेंगे t minus x by v plus some constant. Okay, that constant is not very important. It's just why it'll just tell you the phase when t is 0 and x is 0. So that constant is not very important. But हाँ, एक फॉर्म हो सकता है ओमेगा into t minus x by v plus some constant. Another form they can write the wave is if they multiply omega. तो ओमेगा को अंदर ले लिया तो एक फॉर्म हो जाएगा ओमेगा t minus omega x by v, which we now understand as k, plus some other constant. Omega times delta dash will become some other constant. But then this is your another form in which you write the equation. So what you should realize is whichever form you write it, the coefficient of t is actually omega and the coefficient of x is k. Okay. Sometimes some constants will be written outside the bracket. Make sure you consider the actual coefficient. Make sure you bring in those constants, multiply everything, and then see what the actual coefficient is. Don't say time का coefficient is 1, so omega is 1. नहीं. Bring in everything and then see what the coefficient of t is. The coefficient of t is going to be omega. The coefficient of x is going to be k. If there are any minus signs, remove all the minus signs. Just take the mod, because omega and k are positive quantities. The minus sign will appear based on how you write the equation. Okay, that minus sign just that will appear. That's to tell you the direction in which the wave is moving. Remember, x minus vt tells wave is moving along the right, towards the right. X plus vt tells wave is moving towards the left. So direction के हिसाब से यहाँ पे sign आएगा. ठीक है? So don't worry about the sign. Just find the magnitude of the coefficient of t and the coefficient of x to get omega and k looking at the wave equation. Then just to again point out, sometimes they take 2 pi. You know, sometimes in the wave equation 2 pi is written out. So what is happening over there is when they write 2 pi outside, उसमें क्या हो रहा है? They are replacing omega with 2 pi by time period. They're replacing k with 2 pi by lambda. अब 2 pi बाहर लेने पे you'll have t upon time period and x upon lambda. So the coefficient you see over here in the denominator, that's actually time period. Coefficient you see over here is actually lambda. In fact, the quotient of time will be 1 upon time period. Quotient of x will be 1 upon lambda, not omega and k. So make sure you notice bar 2 pi hai ya nahi hai. 2 pi under lao, multiply all the constants. Then what you see is omega, if you want to find omega. Okay. So these are all several forms of the same equation. Okay, you can basically write omega outside, you can write omega inside, you can write omega in terms of 2 pi and whatnot. You can write it in several forms. No, there's no omega dash. All these equations, I think, there's no dash anywhere. All these equations, I'm keeping omega the same. No omega dash. Okay, so just to conclude, omega कैसे निकालोगे? कोई भी इक्वेशन में सारे नंबर्स को मल्टीप्लाई कर लो और फिर देखो t का कोएफिशिएंट क्या है. दैट विल बी ओमेगा. रिमूव द माइनस साइन, मॉड ले लो, वो ओमेगा देगा. सिमिलर चीज करो x के लिए तो यू विल गेट k. ओमेगा एंड k से देन बाकी और बहुत कुछ निकाल सकते हैं. वेलोसिटी निकाल सकते हैं, वेलोसिटी निकाल सकते हैं, टाइम पीरियड निकाल सकते हैं, लैम्डा निकाल सकते हैं. तो वेलोसिटी के लिए फिर ये याद करने का जरूरत नहीं है, बट अगर तुम्हें एक फॉर्मूला देना है तो वेलोसिटी इज, what is the formula? Omega is, I keep forgetting, omega is vk. Okay, so omega is vk, omega is kv. The velocity is omega by k. Velocity is omega by k. Okay, omega is actually the coefficient of t and k is negative of the coefficient of x, because minus k is the coefficient of x. So in general, in our equation, if you want, and this represents a wave going towards the right with velocity v. So v is minus coefficient of t upon coefficient of x. Okay, you can remember this formula. अगर t का कोएफिशिएंट तुम्हें पॉजिटिव दिख गया और x का भी कोएफिशिएंट पॉजिटिव दिख गया, if both coefficients are positive, that means your I actually messed this up. I'm so sorry. I need to correct this in upload. एक second. If both coefficients are of the same sign, if both coefficients are of the same sign, okay, that means the wave is going towards negative x, क्योंकि ये positive रहेगा, ये positive रहेगा, velocity negative रहेगा. So if both coefficients are of the same sign, the wave is going towards negative x. And if both coefficients are of opposite signs, then the wave is going towards positive x. So अगर एक positive दिख गया और एक negative दिख गया, then the wave is going towards positive x. Okay. So we'll do some questions on this tomorrow. I think I've eaten too much into your time. but I'll just clear the doubts on this page. इसमें वापस बताओ velocity कैसे लिखा, और एक और किसी ने बोला how did I take 2 pi common, and what else? Yeah, delta will also get, so actually मैं यहाँ पे delta पे ज़्यादा ध्यान नहीं दे रहा था, delta doesn't matter, but yeah, to be very technical, yes, ये यहाँ पे delta को कुछ और नया नाम देते हैं, delta double dash देते हैं. So delta is not very important. I wasn't stressing on that. It's just, I'm just trying to depict the other forms, how t and x के coefficients can change, and how accordingly a 2 pi could be waiting outside and omega could be waiting outside. You know, so all these things could be, the equation could be written in any form. The idea is just make sure you, before figuring out the coefficient of t, make sure you multiply all the terms. जैसे यहाँ पे 2 है, यहाँ पे 3 है. Don't say omega is 2 or don't say omega is 3. Multiply them. 60. Achha, 6 is omega. Okay, make sure you write it in this form before figuring out omega. That was my advice. Make sure you write it in this form before figuring out k. Bring all the terms in. And वहां से omega and k दिखेगा. Okay. And दूसरी बात ये है, that answers one of your doubts. The other one is, how did I get this equation? Okay. So if you look very carefully from this equation, okay, this represents a wave going towards positive x. All right. So for this equation, b is positive and v is actually omega by k. For this equation, b is positive and v is actually omega by k. Otherwise, actually, if the wave velocity would be towards the left, I would have to write minus v is omega by k, because omega positive hota hai, k positive hota hai na? And in general, v अगर नेगेटिव है तो उसको पॉजिटिव करने के लिए मुझे ऐसा इक्वेशन लिखना पड़ता है. बट फिलहाल मैं ये जो इक्वेशन लिख रहा हूँ, दिस इज अ वेव गोइंग टुवर्ड्स पॉजिटिव x, so this equation is valid. b is omega by k. If you look carefully, omega is in this equation the coefficient of time, है ना? Omega is mod coefficient of time, and because coefficient of time positive है, omega is coefficient of time. k भी mod coefficient of x है. Okay, mod of coefficient of x, but the coefficient of x is negative. So when you want to take the mod of a negative number, you have to put a minus sign in front of it. You have to change its sign. You have to put a minus sign in front of it. The mod of quotient of x is negative of quotient of x. So वहां से आता है कि v is minus quotient of t upon quotient of x. Got it? So basically, I mean, इससे ज़्यादा actually ये आज करने का जरूरत नहीं है. You can always find omega and you can find k. Yes, all this was derived for a sine wave, and you will only have sine waves. Okay, you'll only have sine waves. You'll not study any other kind of. I mean, this chapter is going to deal with sinusoidal waves. आगे भी sound में, it's all a continuation of SHM. SHM में the motion is sinusoidal. So even waves and sound waves and light waves we'll all study. In all those cases, you'll have sinusoidal oscillations. ठीक है? ये जो तीसरा इक्वेशन है, ये चलो याद नहीं किया तो भी चलेगा. इसमें बस इतना याद, एटलीस्ट रिमेंबर द साइंस, कि अगर दोनों t and x का साइंस उल्टा है, सॉरी, अगर t और x का साइंस उल्टा है, दैट मीन्स पॉजिटिव x की तरफ वेव जा रहा है, और t and x का साइन सेम है तो नेगेटिव x की तरफ वेव जा रहा है. गॉट इट? Yes, Prithvi. I hope everyone is cleared with this. Yeah, so I'll tomorrow we'll do some questions and then we'll proceed. And then I'll give some homework tomorrow, because एक दिन में तुम क्या कर लोगे? I'll see. I can maybe ask you to try some of these questions. 2020, and I can. Chalo, I'll post this in the group as your homework. You can attempt. the questions on page 19, 20, 21. Okay. नहीं, Rudra, एक minute. First, Rudra, why are you saying b will always be negative? Let me give an example. Consider the function sine, but ये वही ना, ये ओमेगा और k नहीं है. Consider the example sine 2 minus 3t. Sorry, sine 2x minus 3t. Okay, ये example देखिए. Sine 2x minus 3t. तो इस एग्जाम्पल में आई थिंक एग्जाम्पल देना चाहिए. इस एग्जाम्पल में ओमेगा is going to be coefficient of time, यानी कि omega is going to be mod of coefficient of time, so it's going to be 3. फिर k is going to be mod of coefficient of x, so k is going to be 2 itself. ये मीटर इनवर्स या रेडियंस पर मीटर इनवर्स लिख सकते हो. एंड वेलोसिटी, अब फॉर्मूला डाल के देखो. वेलोसिटी है माइनस कोएफिशिएंट ऑफ t, कोएफिशिएंट ऑफ t is -3 upon coefficient of x which is 2. So velocity is 3/2. पॉजिटिव आ रहा है इस, एंड ये पॉजिटिव आ रहा है मतलब ये राइट की तरफ है. इसको करने का एक बेटर तरीका ऐसा है, the better way of doing this is remembering what I've written in yellow. So just find omega, find k, find the speed. Speed will come out to be 3/2, 1.5, and then see what I've written in yellow to answer which direction the wave is going. Are the signs opposite? Okay, 2 and -3 signs are opposite. Opposite sign मतलब positive x की तरफ जा रहा है, सेम साइन मतलब नेगेटिव x की तरफ जा रहा है. और ये हमें वो डेरिवेशन के वक्त ही पता चल जाता है ना. When we derive itself, we have talked about this. Okay. And one last thing, so v in general, I mean in general most places v is velocity, but in this equation in this in equations like this, in equations like v is f by lambda, omega is v by k, over here it only refers to speed because these terms cannot be negative. In these two equations it refers only to speed. So if you're going to use one of these, if you're going to use either of these equations, you'll always get v as positive. You're not going to get the sign because omega and k are on paper always positive. Got it? Prithvi, I'll just unmute you. Yes.
Sir, the very first page, sir, you made a graph, right?
ये वाला.
हाँ sir, a minute. Yes sir. Sir, in this graph, and in the second graph, the yellow one, here y x comma t is a function of f of t, right?
Y x comma t.
Yes, is equal to f of t, right?
F of t minus x by v.
So
F वही पॉइंट था ना यहाँ पे. x कोऑर्डिनेट का डिस्प्लेसमेंट एट टाइम t is origin का displacement at some other instant. So there was origin का displacement at time t minus x by v. तो origin का displacement पता था as a function of time, वहीं पे हमने t के जगह t minus x by v substitute कर लिया.
Okay sir, so then here sir, okay sir, so for at time equal to t, we're shifting the same graph by x by v in the right direction, right?
नहीं, x by v time हो गया. वो shifting वाला is the other one. The graph is shifted by x
Oh, okay, sir. Got it. Got it. Okay, sir. I was confusing. Okay, sir. I was confusing myself. Got it, sir.
Yeah. Rudra, the homework question का answer is किधर है 15 5 by root 2 तो बोल रहा है 15 by root 2 velocity of the particle is एक तो 5 आ जाएगा और फिर इसका डेरिवेटिव cos 3x तो एक तो 3 आ जाएगा और फिर साइन माइनस साइन और साइन इग्नोर करते हैं साइन 25 पाई by 4 I think I missed that 3 sin 25 pi by 4 which is going to be 1 by root yeah you're right sorry 15 by root 2 thanks 15 by root 2 ठीक है मेरे को 15 वाला पेज चेंज करना है थैंक्स रुद्रा एंड सेवनटीन ठीक है cool thanks I'll make those changes good night in the 14th page if there's only one single wave then it won't follow vp is equal to minus v slope if there's only one single wave there's only one single so okay you mean if there's like a pulse it will follow of course ये जो है ना if there is a traveling why will slope not be defined unless you mean this ऐसा I mean of course it will not you can't apply it for no, even over there it's applied no like for the example these particles slope is 0 कहाँ पे not defined है यहाँ पे स्लोप 0 है पार्टिकल का वेलोसिटी भी 0 है जो पार्टिकल्स मूव कर रहा है at the blue point ऐसा तो हो रहा है एकदम शार्प टर्न है okay the sharp turn is like so in reality you don't have sharp turns no rope is going to have a sharp turn there's going to be a gradual turn तो जो दूर से sharp दिखेगा if you zoom in there will be at least a bunch of particles and it will be a smooth turn now the reason दूर से देखने पे sharp turn पे we'll say it's not defined that's because that region is actually a very big region where there are multiple particles doing different things there are if you zoom in that graph there will be some particles still at rest and there will be some particles starting to move and they all have different velocities so because that actually comprises of so many particles it'll be difficult to uh, define the velocity of the region you'll need the velocity of a single particle तो शार्प टर्न रियलिटी में नहीं दिखता हो सकता है बहुत दूर से देखोगे तो लगेगा शार्प टर्न है you zoom in okay you won't have a sharp turn any sharp turn in reality at least for a rope when you zoom in it'll have to be a curve it can't just suddenly turn because then tension at that point is unbalanced the point will come in and you will not have a sharp turn so a rope shape will always be differentiable you can have a pulse like this accordingly where as soon as the graph becomes flat or even if it's close to over here your slope is nearly 0 so your particle velocity is also nearly 0 okay? Non-differentiable graph Vp is the velocity in y direction, yes, and that's the velocity of the particle. This is for the wave. Wave moves towards x. Particles only move up and down. So Vp is the particle velocity, and that's purely in the y direction because particles left right नहीं जाते, ऊपर नीचे जाते. Clear हो गया डाउन? Bye.